Hi, Lloyd Snyder, Atlanta, Georgia, Casa Guitar, www.casaguitar.com. What I'm going to be talking about today is sanding belts. And one of the pet peeves of every woodworker, I would suppose, is that your sanding belts, which you pay about $9 a piece for these things, you put them on your drum sander, which I'm using an 1836 drum sander, which is very, very handy. But one of the first things it does when you hit an oily wood is it clogs the belt. I hope that's in focus. And as you can see, it's completely burnished that belt with pitch and with all the oils in the woods that goes through it, and it probably happens one of the first or second pass through because you've either gone too slow or too fast. You can never seem to get it right. Now what I'm going to show you is how to get rid of that. And I will tell you this, these crepe sticks will not do it. They will clean sawdust out of the belt, but they will not take this stuff out. This stuff is really baked in there. And as soon as you run your project through that and it hits this, it burns the wood. So this one is a full size. There's nothing wrong with the sanding grit on it. It's just clogged. Now what you'll see shortly is this one here, and I can tell the difference between these two. I've cleaned both of them, and I'm going to show you how to do that. But if you look at this one, and I hope you can see this, I hope it's focusing good, but you can see this thing looks like a brand new belt, and it does the full 11.5 feet of it. Looks brand new. I could probably not recognize it as being the old belt, except you can see where some of the dirt, and you'll see this laying in my driveway because that's where I cleaned it, and I'll explain why. This belt I did first. It's a little bit heavier grit, and this belt again came out perfect. It's like a brand new belt. I have not worn these out, I've just clogged them up. And one more time, we're going to take all of that. I'm going to show you how it's done, because these two belts looked exactly like that. The one we're going to be filming is this one right here. And just as a warning, I'll tell you, I've just learned how to do this. I figured out an experiment of how to clean it, and I have no scientific data on this. I don't think I've damaged these belts, but I'm going to be really careful the first time I put them on the drum to make sure they don't disintegrate on the drum. But they feel fine. They're heavy-duty, cloth-backed, resin bond belts. These are not paper, so they're very strong. They're actually very, very hard to even tear. So we're going to now show you how to resurrect this mess and make a brand new belt out of it. But again, the first time you put it on your drum, be careful, because I'm going to, and if I do find there's a problem, I will update this video. Thank you. Let's move on to the cleaning part of this. Okay, now we're outside. You want to make sure you put the belt on something you don't like, because the chemical I'm going to use will actually take paint off of stuff. I know this for a fact. That's the belt all laid out. It's roughly 11.5 feet long by about 2 inches wide. And here's probably the worst
Okay, I'm
area.
overdubbing because the wind noise and the noise from the hose was just too much. So if my lips don't synchronize with my voice, it's because it's an overdub. What we're looking at is Monster Exotic Polishes and Waxes shop cleaner, and it is at the big box stores, Home Depot, Lowe's. Any of those should have this. I think I might have got it at Lowe's. Be very careful. I'm wearing gloves for a reason. The first time I used this stuff, I didn't put gloves on, and it ate holes in my hands. It was very painful. So wear gloves. Don't get it on anything you like. I'm kind of hoping it cleans my driveway up a little bit, which it will do. Now right now we're going to spray the whole thing. I'm going to cut the film a little bit here so that we can save some time. I coated the whole thing with a pretty good coat of Monster Cleaner, and don't hesitate to use a liberal amount of this. Going to give it 20 minutes, come back. Okay, it's 20 minutes later. Look at the size of the belt. It's very, very thick cloth-backed belt. If it was paper, it would destroy it. So this can only be, this will, I'm sure, will only work on the heavy-duty cloth belt, backed belts. I don't have a pressure washer, so I'm going to use my hose with as much pressure as I can get out of it. And you're going to see that my first application, I did not use a brush, which I should have. You can very easily, from where I'm standing, see that it bubbled up all of that pitch and everything that was clogging the sanding belt. And it's getting about 90% on the first try. If I'd have used a wire brush, possibly a pressure washer, I might have done it in one coating, but this is definitely going to take 2 coats. And you can see it's taking about 90% of it off. It's still not good enough, and the pitch that I'm talking about, you're all familiar with it when you use oily woods like coca-cola, domestic woods like pine especially. One trip through the belt sander, or the drum sander in this case, and you've pretty much ruined your belt because it gets into the grit and there's no getting it out. Those crepe belt cleaners have absolutely no effect on it whatsoever. So I'm going to reapply to the spots that it didn't get, and now I'm going to use, I should be using a wire brush, but I'm using a toothbrush, and it's working it in, and it is taking most of it off, but it's going to take another coating with another 20-minute wait, and then hose it off.
Okay, that concludes this video. I hope this helps fellow woodworkers that are having the same problem. If you've got any kind of a sander, whether it be a drum sander, belt sander, you know the problem, and now you know a possible solution. One of the things that I have not tried is the product that I talk about in this video. Is a product called Monster. I found it at one of the big box stores. It was either Lowe's or Home Depot. I don't remember which. But it is very caustic, and wear gloves when you use it if you're going to use it full strength. Do not use it on your car. Pretty sure it'll take the paint off. But I have no scientific data for that, so I apologize to Monster if I'm wrong. But I would not put it full strength on my car. It's a heavy duty cleaner, and it definitely takes the pitch and resin off of these belts, as you will see. Thank you, and God bless our troops.